Have you ever faced a daunting data analysis task during a job interview? Imagine you're given an Excel file named Provider Data XLSX and tasked with extracting precise information for a critical compliance review, all under tight time constraints. In today's video, we dive into a simulation that mirrors the real challenges faced by analysts in the Department of Healthcare Services, DHCS. We'll decode a user-submitted exercise that asks you to sift through complex data to answer pressing questions about healthcare providers and their claims. Get ready to learn strategies that will not only help you excel in job tests, but also sharpen your analytical skills in real-world scenarios. Welcome back, everyone. I'm SOQ Rick. And here at SOQ Rick, our mission is to help you land that state job or move up within the ranks. Today, we're tackling a practical challenge that mimics the real tests faced during the interview process for a staff services analyst at the Department of Healthcare Services. Whether you're applying for the first time or aiming for a promotion, you're in the right place to get ahead quick with SOQ Rick. And just like the world's best boss, we believe you can excel in any challenge thrown your way. Let's get started. Alright, let's jump straight into the written exercise we'll be working on today. This is a typical example of what a staff services analyst might encounter during a hiring process at the Department of Healthcare Services, DHCS. Our objective: to answer several analytical questions using the data from the Provider Data XLSX file. This simulates common tasks that are crucial for ensuring compliance within the department. Now, let's see what our own regional manager, Michael Scott, has tasked us with. And no, he didn't ask us to find out which bear is best. Instead, he's looking for some detailed provider data. Here are the tasks. 1. Verify the provider type and the date when their enrollment status became active for the provider with NPI number 55667788899. 2. We need a summary of total claims paid to all dermatologists in the fiscal year 2020-2021. Please provide the combined total. 3. Can you provide the detailed claims paid to providers with NPI number 12345678890 across all their locations during the fiscal year 2020-2021? These inquiries require precise data extraction and analysis skills, and the ability to communicate our findings clearly. In the upcoming sections, we'll break down how to approach each of these requests step by step. So grab your notes and let's get analytical with SOQ Rick. Don't worry, no Dundies are on the line here. Okay, let's roll up our sleeves and tackle the first query. Much like how Dwight approaches beet farming, with meticulous attention to detail, we're tasked with verifying the provider type and the date when their enrollment status became active for the provider, with NPI number 55667788899. Now let's start with the method I like to call the Michael Scott approach. It's straightforward, but not always the most effective. Simply hit Ctrl+F or Command+F on a Mac, because who doesn't love a good shortcut? Just type in the NPI number and search through the records. It's a bit like trying to find Ryan in the annex. You know he's there, but it can be a hassle to locate him among all the distractions. Here's the problem with this approach. You can only view one record at a time. If we have a database the size of Michael's screenplay ambitions, sifting through each record can be as tedious as listening to one of his long conference room meetings. So let's switch to what I call the Jim Halpert method. It's smarter and more efficient. Turn on the filter in Excel. This is like putting Dwight's desk in the bathroom. It simply organizes everything better. Filter the NPI column for the specific number 55667788899. Voila! Now you can see all relevant data at once, clearly and efficiently. And there we have it. The enrollment status for this provider became active on March 14, 2017. Quick and easy, without any pranks involved. Remember, the Jim Halpert method is almost always the way to go when you want to make your life easier and your data more manageable. Let's keep this momentum as we move to the next question. Now on to the second challenge Michael Scott has lined up for us, reminiscent of the time he tasked the Scranton branch with hitting that sales quota. Only this time, it's all about crunching numbers, not paper sales. The task is to summarize the total claims paid to all dermatologists in the fiscal year 2020-2021. Let's start with what I like to call the Kevin Malone approach, using the SUMIFS function. It's straightforward but powerful, much like Kevin's accounting skills. Simple but gets the job done. SUMIFS is an Excel function that sums up the values in a range based on multiple criteria. Here's how it works. Sum_range. This is the range of cells that will be added up. For us, it's the cells that contain the claim amounts. Criteria_range 1, criteria 1. These are the ranges of data and the corresponding criteria that determine which cells to add. For example, criteria underscore range 1 could be the range containing provider types, and criteria 1 would be dermatologist. Criteria underscore range 2. Criteria 2. In our case, this could be the range containing the fiscal year of the claims, with criteria 2 specifying 2020-2021. Putting it all together, the formula to find the total claims paid to all dermatologists during the fiscal year 2020-2021 would be equals SUMIFS BB dermatologist DD 2020-2021. Here, FF represents the column with the claim amounts, BB holds the provider types, and DD contains the fiscal years. While Kevin might just use it to sum up M&Ms, here it helps us tackle larger datasets effectively. But beware, like any of Kevin's chili pots, handle with care. SUMIFS can be a bit limiting if you're not precise with your criteria ranges and conditions. In the next part, we'll look at an even more efficient way to manage this task, saving us time and avoiding potential messes. No chili spills here. After exploring the Kevin Malone approach with the SUMIFS function, let's shift gears to what I'd call the Oscar Martinez method. If you're familiar with Oscar from Dunder Mifflin, you know he's all about precision and efficiency. And that's exactly what pivot tables bring to our Excel toolkit. So here's how to set up a pivot table for our task. Start by clicking on any cell within your dataset. Think of this like picking the best seat at the Dundies. Location matters because it sets the stage for everything that follows. Then, head over to the Insert tab and click on Pivot Table. This opens up a whole new world of data organization possibilities. In the Pivot Table menu, place Provider Type in the Rows area. This step categorizes each entry by the type of provider, so we can zero in on just the dermatologist. Next, drag Fiscal Year into the Columns area. It's like sorting our data by seasons. Here, it's the fiscal seasons we care about. This organization lets us easily pick out the year 2020-2021. Finally, add total claims paid to the Values area. This move is the real game changer. It automatically calculates the total claims for each type of provider for each year, bringing us to that crucial number we need. And just like that, our pivot table shows us that the total claims paid to dermatologists in fiscal year 2020-2021 amounted to $393,869, neatly confirming our earlier calculation with SUMIFS. This pivot table approach isn't just about getting the answer. It's about setting up your data so it's easy to adjust, analyze, and understand. It's perfect when you're dealing with multiple data points and need a clear summary fast. It offers that extra level of detail and flexibility, which is especially handy for more complex analyses. Now that we've mastered both methods, you've got options depending on your task's needs or your personal preference. Both are effective, but if you're looking for depth and adaptability, pivot tables might just be your go-to, just like Oscar would choose. Let's keep up this energy as we tackle the next question in our exercise. Moving on to our third and final task from Michael Scott. Yes, our regional manager has one more test for us today. It's about extracting detailed claims paid to providers with a specific NPI number across all their locations for the fiscal year 2020-2021. Fortunately, this one's straightforward, and I'll show you how to get to your answer using Excel's powerful filtering features. First up, if your filters aren't already turned on, go ahead and enable them now. It's just a click away on the Home tab under Sort and Filter. Think of it like Dwight's control over the office thermostat. Once it's set, everything just works more comfortably. With filters on, you'll want to apply two specific ones. Set the NPI column to filter for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. This zeroes in on just the data related to our provider of interest. Next, set the fiscal year filter to 2020-2021 to focus on the claims from that specific year. It's like narrowing down from all of Dwight's various antics to just his best or worst moments in that year. And there you have it. Once those filters are in place, Excel displays only the relevant records. This includes every transaction for that provider during the fiscal year, right there in your spreadsheet. It's as simple as that. Now, if you want to go the extra mile, because we all know a little extra effort can make a big difference, sort the provider type column in alphabetical order. It's like organizing the condiments in the break room. Not strictly necessary, but it sure makes finding what you want a lot easier. Sorting this way might help you analyze the data faster or make it more presentable for a report. And just like that, we've breezed through Michael's challenge. Using filters in Excel isn't just about getting answers. It's about streamlining your data so you can focus on what really matters, whether that's detailed claims, provider types, or fiscal years. With all questions tackled, you're well on your way to becoming an Excel guru like Oscar, but hopefully with fewer spreadsheets about everyone's salaries. Alright, now that we've tackled the Excel challenges, let's not forget there's also a written portion to this exam. You're expected to draft an email response summarizing your findings. This is where you show off not just your Excel skills, but also your ability to communicate those findings clearly and professionally. So how do we do this? Well, let's keep it casual but professional, like you're emailing a colleague. We'll start off with a friendly greeting. Instead of a formal "Dear Michael," we'll go with "Hey Michael," to keep the tone light but focused. Next, we dive straight into the core of the email. "Hey Michael, here are the answers analysis for the questions you asked." From there, we lay out the responses. For the first question about the provider type and active enrollment date, it's straightforward. We'll state, provider type, dermatologist, active enrollment date, March 14, 2017. Then, moving on to the second question about the total claims paid to all dermatologists in fiscal year 2020-2021, we simply provide the calculated total. Total claims paid to dermatologists, $393,869. The third question is a bit more involved. We have our filtered table ready, showing detailed claims paid to the provider across all locations. We'll paste this table right into the email, making sure it's formatted to be clear and visually appealing. It's like setting the table for a dinner party. Presentation matters. And we wrap up the email with, "Don't hesitate to contact me with questions or concerns," and then sign off with a simple "thanks," followed by your name. So there you have it. By keeping our email concise, informative, and well-organized, we not only answer the questions effectively, but also showcase our ability to handle workplace communications with ease. Remember, the ability to present your data clearly is as valuable as the analysis itself. That wraps up our walkthrough of this Excel exam simulation. By following these steps, you're well equipped to impress in both the practical and written parts of your next job interview. And of course, if Michael Scott were here, he'd probably throw in a "that's what she said" right about now. But we'll keep it professional. Alright, as we wrap up today's walkthrough of the Excel exam scenario, I want to share some bonus tips that can really make a difference when you're facing similar challenges. Whether it's an interview test or a day-to-day task, these strategies will help you shine. First up, understanding the exercise requirements is crucial. Before diving in, take a moment to review the entire exercise. Make sure you grasp every detail, especially any specific instructions or formats mentioned. And if something isn't clear, don't hesitate to ask for clarification. It's always better to ask a few questions than to misunderstand the task and go down the wrong path. Next, get to know your data. Open up that Excel file and take a good look at the structure, the types of data available, and spot any patterns or anomalies. Identify key columns that will be crucial for your queries, like the NPI number or provider type. This isn't just busy work. Understanding your data landscape is like mapping out the terrain before a hike. It prepares you for the journey ahead. Now, let's talk about planning your approach. Jot down the steps you'll take for each query before you start executing them in Excel. This helps in organizing your process and ensures you don't overlook anything. Also, decide which Excel tools like filters, pivot tables, or specific formulas are best suited for each task. Knowing your tools and how to wield them will save you tons of time. Speaking of tools, ensuring your Excel proficiency is key. Familiarize yourself with functions and features that can boost your efficiency, like SUMIFS or VLOOKUP, and pivot tables. If you're not quite confident, take some time to practice on similar datasets or even hit up a quick online tutorial on these functions. When it comes to drafting your responses, keep it professional. Your email should be clear and polite with a structured format, introduction, body, and conclusion. Be concise but thorough to ensure you fully answer each part of the query without rambling. And don't forget to proofread your work. Check your data calculations and scrutinize the details within your response. Any errors in data can lead to incorrect conclusions, and grammar or spelling mistakes can really undermine your professionalism. Time management is another critical aspect. Keep an eye on how much time you spend on each part of the exercise. While it's important to be quick, accuracy is crucial. Find a balance to ensure you don't sacrifice quality for speed. Staying calm and focused under pressure is vital. Interview exercises can be stressful, but remember, staying composed can make all the difference. Take deep breaths if you feel overwhelmed and maintain a positive mindset. Keep distractions at bay and focus solely on the task at hand. Lastly, prepare technologically. Make sure your computer, internet connection, and any software you need are up to snuff before starting. And hey, if you don't have access to Excel on your computer, remember you can use it for free at office.com. I've dropped the link in the description below for you. Also, Google Sheets is a fantastic, free alternative, though it works slightly differently than Excel. If you decide to use Google Sheets, make sure you practice important skills there too, like functions and pivot tables. Each platform has its quirks, so knowing how to navigate them can really boost your efficiency and effectiveness. With these tips in your arsenal, you're not just ready for an Excel exam, you're ready to tackle any analytical challenge that comes your way in your career. And that's a wrap on how to navigate your Excel exam like a pro. Just like Pam finds her way from receptionist to office administrator, you too can advance through mastering these Excel and communication skills. Thanks for joining me on this journey. And remember, every day is a great day to learn something new. Unless, of course, it's Pretzel Day Dunder Mifflin. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more helpful tips and tricks. Drop a comment below if you have questions, or if there's another topic you'd like us to explore. Keep pushing your limits and let's get ahead quick with SOQ Rick. Catch you in the next video.